Hi guys. As promised in my last video, I promised to give you a walk around of my two cars. This walk around is of the 1991 Mitsubishi Galant Vr4. These things were a limited run from 91 and 92 in the US, but I believe they were actually produced from 87 to 92. We just got the last 2 years of production. How this car came to be was back in the 80s, Mitsubishi wanted to expand its presence in the rally championship, so they made a Starion with all-wheel drive, but the rules changed, said they couldn't have it, so they had all these all-wheel drive parts. They stuck them on their new-bodied Galant, and the Galant VR4 was born and was a very successful rally car, won many races. But they soon realized that the car was just a little bit too big to fit in the small tracks that rallying has. So in 92 they ended it and put all their all-wheel drive components on the Lancer Evolution that we know of today. And this Galant is pretty much the daddy of the modern day Evo. This is where all that came from. Started the four-door rally. The rally monsters were pretty much born back then in the 90s with the Legacy GT and the Galant VR4. This particular one has done about 184,000 miles, and you could probably guess that by the paint, but everything is stock, everything's original. There's nobody slapped a 16G on it without any other mods and called it a day. It's still the 14B turbo, nothing else, no crappy mods here and there. It's pretty much original. That is a non-original dome light that I'm showing right there. That came from a 3000. But other than that, this thing is pretty much original. It still has the stock, 15, 16-inch wheels? I'm going to have to say 15. They look tiny. But this car shares the driveline components almost identically, besides the length of the drive shaft, as the DSMs, but this is not considered a DSM because it was built only in Japan, not at the DSM factory in Illinois. It also has I believe a longer first gear. I can't remember if anything else is longer, but the gearing is different in this car than it is in a DSM. But it carries all Galant VR4s, no matter the year, carry the famous 6-bolt 4G63, and I meant all years on the E39 chassis because they switched over to the 6-cylinder in '93 for the VR4. But yeah, has the 6-bolt 4G63 turbo. I can't remember the exact horsepower the Galant produces. I think it's a little bit different from the DSM because it has a different ECU. It might have a little more, might have a little less. But it's an all-wheel drive car. This car does not have the 4-bolt rear end, so that is a project I might do in a little bit that you might see, but it all depends on the money right now. But now I'm just kind of babbling on. The paint is I think the word is questionable that I'm looking for. The hood looks like a chalkboard. The roof looks like it's just had like spray painted white, but it's really just really bad clear coat peeling, and it has a little rust on the windshield, the part where the roof meets the windshield. I'll have to fix that, and I need to definitely get those pieces for the roof racks or roof rails, so if you have them and you want to sell them, just let me know. The trunk and the spoiler are also really bad, but other than those top three things, the hood, the roof, and the trunk, other than that, everything else is okay, and depending on how bad that rust is on the roof and how far I'm willing to go, I might just leave it like that, because I love the idea of this car right now as just probably the best factory sleeper you could get. I probably want to pump a little more horsepower out of this thing now, because in this day and age it is still considered slow. With a 0 to 60 of like 7 or 8 seconds, somewhere around there. not exactly fast. I'm almost sure that the what is it, the Honda Civics can match that. And you know, you definitely can't have that, so I'll be changing up the power. I'm not into the ricey mods or anything, so the body will stay the same really. Um, yeah, this is pretty much just a general overview of my car. The 1991 GVR4 is a great car, so I'm really excited to share all of my little modifications and improvements with you. So if you like what you see, just subscribe. I got another car too that'll be coming up later. I can't do that. Can't do that right now because currently it is quite stormy outside. The video wouldn't show that, but I'll get that one up later. Thanks, guys.